Then we move on to step 3, and which means pressure equals payment, right? So our dog's head is in the box and they're eating the last few pieces, and the last few pieces are gone. And then right before we drop food in the box, we add just a little bit of pressure. And that could be a tap on the box and then food, or it could be just a touch on the dog and then food, right? It could be anything. It could be and then food. Any kind of stimulus can be pressure to the dog. In fact, to some dogs, just the clatter of the food on the box itself is pressure enough, right? So be the dope dealer, right? Little pressure equals big reward. So what you don't want to do is the dog's head is in the box because they've just eaten the last couple pieces. Now they're anticipating food coming. What you don't want to do is add a lot of pressure, right? You don't want it to be heavy pressure and then reward. You want to just a little bit of pressure and then big reward. So just maybe tap the box a little bit, or could be anything. And then a good handful of kibble, right? Whatever the dog is going to anticipate or interpret rather as a big reward, right? So little pressure equals big reward. Be the dope dealer. Don't expect, just give a little bit of pressure and then let the dog know, hey, you did really well. Here's the jackpot in the box. And then you're just going to keep moving along and building up the dog, right? So a little pressure equals less reward. As your dog gets used to the pressure, meaning food's coming, then it doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. Just, again, a little bit of pressure, but reduce the amount. Don't throw in a whole lot, just reduce the amount, right? We just want the dog to start understanding that pressure equals reward. Pressure means a paycheck is coming. And then as you go, you can increase the amount of pressure. But if you increase the amount of pressure, right, if you just start off with a pet, maybe just tap your dog. If you're tapping the box, just tap the box a little bit harder. But remember, don't move too fast. It's a progression. We want to build the dog up. We don't want to startle the dog. We really want it to be a subconscious learning process in the dog. So more pressure equals more reward. You don't want to add pressure without adding more reward. Even we don't want to work harder if we're going to get paid less, right? If we're going to work harder, we want paid more. So same thing with the dog. And then, move that so you can see. And then once the dog understands pressure equals reward, they know pressure means reward's coming, we want to start generalizing our pressures, right? And so I have 2 steps here to the generalization of the pressure in the box. Number 1 is multiple variations of pressure. So we don't want to just keep the tap as the pressure. You can use a soft touch or the leash, right? Some leash pressure, just the dog's head's in the box. Add just a little bit of leash pressure and then reward, right? Let the leash pressure be the predictor of the reward. tap on the prong a little bit. Dog's head's in the box, you tap on the prong a little bit, boom, reward. Bamboo stick. Dog's head's in the box, a little bit of noise from the bamboo stick, and I do mean very little, not loud. You don't want to startle the dog while their head's in the box. You don't want them to feel any sort of threat or distraction. You just want to tap just a little bit, or you could tap the dog with the bamboo, and then boom, drop some food in the box. The e-collar, very, very low level, as low as your e-collar will go, as long as your dog can feel it, right? Just a tap on the e-collar, tap, tap, boom, food in the box. And then, I mean, even other dogs, right? Your dog's eating out of the box. If whatever a distraction is, bring another dog in, and then boom, reward in the box, right? As long as your dog's head is in the box. So each time you change form of pressure, where it's the e-collar, gunshot, other dogs, bamboo sticks, prongs, tapping on the box, tapping on a dog, whatever it is, if you change the type of pressure, reward heavy again, right? So don't change one of these variables and then keep your pressure low, right? We want the dog to start anticipating that any kind of pressure is going to bring a reward as long as my head's in the box. We want them to know that pressure of any type predicts a reward. We're building a strong dog so that pressure doesn't distract. Pressure doesn't bring a dog out of behavior. We want the dog to know that pressure predicts the food, so inadvertently I get rewarded in the box. My paycheck comes when my head's in the box, so pressure predicts reward coming in the box, right? Staying in behavior. This is just for now, stay in behavior exercise, right? So, and then B, make sure you can see this, multiple locations. So my dog is used to all different types of pressure and they're keeping their head in the box, so now let's change locations. If we usually do it in the kitchen, let's do it in the living room. If we usually do it in the living room, let's do it in the kitchen, the bedroom, the front yard, the backyard, the porch, on the sidewalks, right? Around traffic. Different rooms of the house, I already mentioned that. Out on the trial fields, right? Anywhere your dog may be distracted out of any type of behavior, that's a good place to practice with the box so that your dog learns everywhere that pressure means reward is coming. Right? And so once your dog understands all of this, and it is a process, don't rush through this, right? Take your time, move at your dog's pace, give your dog the benefit of the doubt. And then once your dog understands this, we're going to back chain it to the go. But before we do that, I want to reiterate the goals for the dog's interpretation for this process is, number one, pressure predicts payment is coming. We want the dog to know no matter what the pressure is, no matter what the distraction is, that means a reward is coming. And number two, because payment always comes within the behavior, stay in the behavior and wait on it. So because the dog understands that when my head's in the box, that's where the reward comes, then it also means to stay in behavior, right? Because that's where the reward is coming. Also, on top of that, I know that sounds redundant, but it's two different things. On top of that, number three, get back in behavior where the payment comes. So once the dog understands that pressure, whether it's the clatter stick, means, or the e-collar, or whatever the pressure may be, once they understand that that predicts the reward, that predicts food's coming, right? Then we give them a little bit of duration. If they pull their head out of the box, then what do? We add a little bit of pressure, right? Which lets, in the dog's mind, that little bit of pressure means food's coming, and food comes in the box. So immediately their head goes down in the box, and then boom, we reward that head going down in the box with food. So to the dog, they understand the pressure is the cue that reward is coming. But to us, or to anybody who's looking from the outside in and they don't understand this process, What is it? It's negative reinforcement. And that's what it is, right? It's negative reinforcement. So the dog's head comes out of the box, I apply pressure either with the clatter stick or the e-collar. The dog anticipates that as a cue that food is coming. Their head goes in the box, but from the outside it looks like, and from the outside it is. The dog's head comes out of the box, I apply pressure, the dog's head goes back in the box, the pressure goes away, right? That's negative reinforcement. Boom, we reward the dog, the food comes. Why is it negative reinforcement? For two reasons, right? The behavior is reinforced because when their head goes in the box, the pressure goes away, right? If the pressure kept going after the dog's head went in the box, then the behavior of putting the head back in the box wouldn't be reinforced. It would probably be too much pressure, or the dog would get tired of it and the dog would leave. Right? So it's negative reinforcement. The pressure is taken away negative once the behavior is accomplished. Dog's head goes in the box, behavior goes away, boom, reward comes. Also, it's reinforcing because the pressure predicts the reward. So it's a reinforcement. The pressure should make the dog want to do it, right? Reinforcement. All right, so that concludes that portion. Now we go to back chaining the go into the box, right?